What would happen if you start thinking like Nelson Mandela, or maybe leading like Mahatma Gandhi, or envisioning like Elon Musk, or maybe innovating like Leonardo Da Vinci? What could you do for your business when you are able to tap into and start acquiring the excellence of the greatest minds around you? Now you say, how do you replicate something that you can't observe, that you can't see? I'm talking about thoughts, the mind. You can't see the mind, right? So there is a process to do that. I've dedicated my life learning and teaching this, changing my own life. You identify like an investigator, and then you understand. You identify, and then you understand. And once you have understood, you learn how to transfer it inside your subconscious mind. And once you do that, you integrate with these patterns of excellence, and even you start producing absolutely incredible and excellent results in your life and business. How do we do this? There are 5 aspects that you and I need to understand. The first, what would happen if you start thinking like Nelson Mandela, or maybe leading like Mahatma Gandhi, or envisioning like Elon Musk, or maybe innovating like Leonardo Da Vinci? What could you do for your business when you are able to tap into and start acquiring the excellence of the greatest minds around you? What will you accomplish, and what will you go for as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, or a business person? Now the question is this really possible? Can you tap into your role model, a person whom you look up to? Maybe you like the leadership style of certain people. How do you decode that leadership style? And how do you integrate it inside your subconscious mind, your body? Because you see, we are all learning all the time. And we create something called as mental models inside our minds. And once these models get created inside our mind starts using them to execute behaviors flawlessly. Because it's important for the brain to automate your behaviors. Let me give you an example. You see, when you were young, when we human beings, when we are born with this thing called mirror neurons. What these neurons do is they look at people around and start mimicking the behaviors of those people. Start mimicking whatever the environment has. You try to recreate your environment later in life. Not only the environment that you got influenced by as a child, no, the environment that you were inspired by as you were growing. Now, you see, we tend to walk and talk like our parents. We tend to behave like, certain film stars maybe. Or if you are inspired by certain business figures, you tend to be like them. You tend to think like them. You would want to learn how they lead, their leadership styles. One thing that I want you to know today is that these patterns, these mental patterns, can be decoded, learned, and integrated inside us. And this session is not motivation. I don't do motivation. I'm going to talk to you about a concept called modeling. Now, it is not what people do on the ramp, the models walking on the ramp. No. It's a psychological concept. It's an art that teaches you how to decode excellence, how to decode greatness, how to decode mastery. And once you decode it, unlock it, what happens? The process of unlocking, when something is unlocked, it's open for you. You have access to it. You see, today I want you to learn this idea of modeling. I want you to know what the art of modeling is so that you can achieve life and business growth. It is not something that schools, colleges, and universities teach you. Now, this concept is not something talked about in your social circles. Very few people are aware of it, and yet it affects your life every single day. Now, what is it? Let's understand the definition first. When was the last time you tried to learn a definition or understand a definition? Am I taking you back to your college days or something? Now you see, what is modeling? Modeling refers to the process of observing and replicating the successful behaviors, strategies, and thought processes. Now, very important points here. Number one, modeling refers to the process. Process means something that has got certain bits of information or steps, and once you put it together, that becomes a process, right? So process of observing. You observe and replicate. I'm not asking you to imitate and mimic somebody else, right? If you like Amitabh Bachchan, the Bollywood star, I'm not asking you to start imitating him. You go to a party and you go, all right, my name is, no, that's not the idea. Modeling is not mimicking. It is not mimicry, not at all. Modeling is something far superior. What is it, and how does it help your life, and how does it affect your business positively and negatively? That is what we're going to look at, and we're going to understand how to grow our life and business today. Now you see, it's a process of observing and replicating the successful behaviors. Now, this is very important to understand. When I say successful behaviors, it is also possible for you to observe and replicate unsuccessful behaviors that are not going to work for you. So here, it's always a good idea to observe and replicate the successful behaviors strategy, because every role model that you have, let me tell you, in today's day and age, the role models that we have, we cannot be sure that everything that the role model does, 100% of it is right. Simply because you are blind behind this person, you absolutely are in love with this person and his leadership qualities, that doesn't make him 100% perfect. He will have certain behaviors that you might not want to replicate. So you choose to replicate successful behaviors, strategies, and thought processes. Now, this is very important. Replicating thought processes. Now, you see, how do you replicate something that you can't observe, that you can't see? I'm talking about thoughts, the mind. You can't see the mind, right? So there is a process to do that. I've dedicated my life learning and teaching this, changing my own life. All right? So here, thought processes of high performance. For business people, this means learning from the best to enhance their own performance and achieve greater success. So you enhance your own performance to achieve greater success. You might be doing good, you might be doing great, but here I'm talking to you about achieving greater success. You see, the goal of modeling is to identify. You got to identify, and once you have identified, you need to understand the patterns that lead to excellence. That means to say there are patterns that lead to excellence, and then to transfer these patterns to oneself and others to achieve similar results. So what do? You identify like an investigator, and then you understand. You identify, and then you understand. And once you have understood, you learn how to transfer it inside your subconscious mind. And once you do that, you integrate with these patterns of excellence, and even you start producing absolutely incredible and excellent results in your life and business. How do we do this? There are 5 aspects that you and I need to understand. The first 2 are quite visible. When you model environment, when I say that, to grow your business, model the environment of successful businesses around you, you may be looking at the marketplace, which is visible. That's an environment. Market trends, right? So what is working? Okay, it's the day and age of AI. So let me, look into AI and do something in this field. Or whatever your business is, you look at the market trends and where the market trend is headed, where the marketplace is headed. What you do here, once you understand that, once you identify that and understand that, you integrate it in your business, right? When you do that, you are modeling the environment. When you look at other company cultures, different cultures, and then you pick something from Google, something from Apple, you pick something from another company, and then you create your own culture. Maybe add something that you already like, and you have your own culture. So you have modeled the environment here. Work culture, and then workplace. How does your office look? What would you like to have there? And a lot of businesses, they only end up modeling the environment, and they don't focus on anything else at all. And perhaps that's the reason why more than 95% of businesses in this world, they fail the first 5 years. They don't see the sunlight after 5 years because the focus is only on the environment. I'll give you an example of a business person whom I met recently, and what I saw was certain patterns in him. He loves modeling environment, that is identifying and understanding patterns of excellent environments and integrating those patterns inside his own business. So he looked at this particular company's office structure, the way the office looked, the workplace and all that. So when he looked at it, his heart was, oh man, I want to be like this. Because as human beings, that is what we have been doing. We like modeling. That is how our brain is created, so that everything becomes automated, like I said. So we bring in different parts. The brain brings in different parts of the same system. For example, driving. You need to control the steering, the gear, the accelerator, the clutch, and all that. So these are different parts of the same system. Initially, you focus on each part as if it were a separate part. But eventually, what your brain does is it puts everything together, and that becomes one chunk, one model, and you use it and call it driving. Similarly, this gentleman, he looked at this particular office space, workspace, the environment, and a couple of other environments, and he wanted to replicate it, and he did it to some extent. And later, he started modeling the behavior of his favorite role models. A lot of us do. We like to dress up like our role models, right? Something from him, something from another person, and then we have our own style. So one of the behaviors that he was influenced by was entrepreneurs, business people who travel a lot, extensively, internationally. So somewhere he felt inspired and wanted to model this particular behavior of traveling and expanding business. What he did here was he started traveling to different countries, neglecting the work culture back home in India. He started neglecting the culture. He started neglecting his team. He did not work on the next aspect. Now, what is it? I'm going to talk about it. It's semi-visible to us. And the last two are not visible at all. They are invisible. And these three play a very important role in your life and business growth. So what are they? I'm going to talk about it. And now let's go back to behavior. So he started traveling extensively to different countries, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 countries, and started expanding his business. What happened was he did not model the third aspect of modeling and doing something that would have helped him take his business to the next level, or grow his business, and his business collapsed eventually. Now, what did he fail to do? Let's understand that. You see, the third aspect that is semi-visible is skills. Skills can be financial management. Now, that is a skill. Now, why is it semi-visible? You can see someone and say, okay, the P and L statement, fine, this is looking good. The finances of the company are good, or the finances of the company are bad. But then this is what is visible. Okay, the statement is visible, but how does it happen? The system, how does the leader think about finances, money? How does a business, the founder, think about it? think about finances. That is what matters. So this gentleman, he was not able to manage his finances properly because he did not model effective financial management skills. And skills also include various skills for a business person. Skills like negotiation, sales, marketing, branding. A lot of people, let's say, for example, you're a solopreneur, maybe you're a life coach, a business coach. Now, what do these people do? Environment, they work on their environment. They go to the events that are there for their tribe. They go there, they try to change their offices, bring in a lot of positivity, change their colors and all that. So they're changing their environment, they're changing their behavior, they change the way they dress, the way they talk and all that. But then they do not model the skills that are required to help them grow their business. For example, sales. A lot of people suck at selling things. And this person sucked at managing his finances. He did not develop, this particular skill. And what happened? His business shut down. Now, these three aspects are important, but you've got to add these two as well. Now, these are not visible. They are invisible. What are they? And how do they define where you are headed? And why are they important? Let's look at it. You see, the fourth aspect of modeling is called beliefs and values. Now, when you look at a role model, when you look at Nelson Mandela or Elon Musk, right? Now, you see, beliefs and values are something that reside inside the head. These are thought patterns. Belief is something that is true for yourself. So what are the beliefs that you hold about business? What do you think business is? What is the absolute truth for you about business, about negotiation, about money, about finances, about company culture, about having a vision, about profits, about taxes, about loss? Now, these beliefs get together and form a model, right, for your business, the beliefs that you have about business and everything that's related to business. And this has a tremendous impact on your sales, on your marketing, on your operations, on your hiring process. The standard operating procedures that you have in a company, all that depends on the beliefs that you have for business in general. And values. Value is something that is important for you. So what is important for you in business? Right? Now, when you look at a successful business person in your own field, in your own arena, think about a business leader in your own arena. Now, what do you think the values of that person are? Do you know? Now, if not, how would you know those values? You see, I'm an investigator. I try to understand people's values, beliefs, the thought patterns, and then extract it from their minds and transfer it into my minds or the minds of the people I work with. Call them my clients, my students. I help them take the patterns from their favorite role model or different role models that have achieved great things in life and then transfer it inside their subconscious mind. And once you do that, excellence, mastery, and greatness becomes automatic for you. It's not that you're going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. That's bullshit, right? You're going to be excellent. Will you fall? Of course. But then you're going to be super resilient. You're going to be super flexible. You become a high performer when you understand the beliefs and values of great achievers, high performers around you. And now the final aspect. This is the most critical aspect here. What is it? It's called identity. Identity is what you think about yourself. The beliefs and values, what you think about the world, things that are outside you. Identity, what you think about yourself. Let's say you have the role of a chief executive officer or managing director or chief finance officer. So how do you look at yourself? How strong is that identity? Or do you suffer from imposter syndrome? Do you take a lot of stress as a chief financial officer? Do you know of any chief financial officer or chief executive officer in this world who was able to manage, handle, and beat stress effectively? If yes, what were his belief patterns and values? The skills that he had, the behavior that he had, what environment did that person model? What identity does that person has for himself? Now, there are different identities. It's just not that, okay, I'm a confident person. No, there are different identities here. That means to say, you think about yourself, what do you think about yourself as a father or a son or a mother or a sister? Now, these are different identities. The roles that you play in life, each role has a different identity and different beliefs that you have about yourself. Do you think that you are not a go-getter? Or do you think that you're not good enough? Or you are adequate, but there are certain things that you can improve upon? Now, all these ideas that you have about yourself, they form different identities. And one of the best things that you and I can do is look beyond our traditional education, because schools, colleges, and universities don't teach these things, right? So, and these concepts are not a part of the conversations we have at social gatherings. This is knowledge. And when you identify and understand the thought patterns of different role models who have achieved great things in life, as a business person, you can identify, understand, and adopt or adapt the thought patterns of a great sports person. It's going to help you in your business. But how to do that? That is exactly what I've been teaching for years now. I can help you model all these aspects from different thought leaders around the world, different role models, and integrate it inside your subconscious mind. Because once you do that, your life will never be the same again. Because you see, when you want to change your results, make them better, achieve life and business growth, you got to start with your identity. It's not about your environment. Do not try to change the environment without working on your identity. Once you have worked on the different roles that you play and strengthen the identity that each role has, then you move on to working on your beliefs and values about things outside of you, your business and everything, your business has in it, right from your operations to sales to marketing and everything. And then your values and skills. Now, skills are, like I said, financial management skills or sales or marketing, negotiation. These are skills. How do you integrate the beliefs and values that will help you become a better negotiator? Because how to negotiate, you can take a course. It's there on different platforms, right? People will teach it to you. But once you learn that skill, once you learn the skill of closing, a lot of people, more than 95% of people, do not execute it the way they were taught to. Something stops them from executing the skill that they have learned. You want to be a good coach, you have learned how to coach, but when it is time for you to coach, something stops you. Financial management, you know how to manage your finances. You know it. Intellectually, you understand it. But remember, human beings are driven by emotion, not intellect, right? So intellectually, we understand a lot of things, but emotionally, we do not execute them because our beliefs and values and identity play a very important role. And unless you transform and upgrade this part of yours, it's going to be tough for you to execute what you have learned. You must have learned different skills, managerial skills, operations, hiring, but executing them requires a change here. And then you change your behavior. This is going to change automatically once you change these. And environment, this is also going to change once you change this. This is going to become better once you upgrade this part of you. Now, how to do that? Please register yourself. Go to this website now, register yourself, and I'll let you know whenever I launch a program or whenever I have a program where this particular module, that is the art of modeling excellence, is a part of that course. I'm going to let you know. Make sure that you register, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment, and If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will be glad to answer those questions related to this topic. So go ahead, model excellence, and take charge of your lives. See you.